Good morning to day 355 and welcome to you beautiful 776, I think it was, or 77 subscribers today. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed the video yesterday. Very testing day. The doors, 20 to 8. Just giving them a good clean, taking all the actual cellophane off, giving them a good clean in and out. They do look pretty awesome. Today's task, once the guys arrive, and we've got one in here already working, believe it or not, bless him. We're going to be pulling up the actual floor in the cottage, like I said. The difficulty with that, obviously, we really need to wait until the windows are finished off, and they're not done yet. So I don't want to be creating dust and dirt and grime all over the new floor. So we've got some marine ply, which is a lot more expensive than standard ply. To give an example, ply sheets, 8x4s are around about 115, 120 a sheet here, Bayesian. And the marine ply is about 355 to 380. But obviously it's moisture resistant, it's pretty bulletproof. So we've had the other floor in there whilst everything's been painted and sanded and all sorts. So now we're pretty much ready with that. We're going to take that up, put the new floor down, but once it's up, get down into the pump room where all the water tanks are concerned. Get that completely cleaned out and swept through. I'll also do some filming for that, because I'm sure some of you are quite new to the channel and you're not aware what's down there. We have our pump system for the water pressure. We have two 450-gallon tanks down there for reserved water, and we have all the mains and all the actual filters for the system in there as well. So I'll get in there when that's up and give you a quick film to give you a show of what we've done. I do want to move the water pump, because the water pump, as you might have heard, is directly underneath where ideally the work area stroke bed area will be for the cottage. And as soon as you turn on a tap in the house, it senses the pressure drop and the pump kicks in. And it's not massively noisy, but it's a noise you could do without when you're laying in bed, that's for sure. So I want to try and see if I can get that moved. The plumber seems to feel it can't. There's no such thing as can't. But anyway, I'm sure it would be difficult to move because of the pressure from the tank. So the tank is tall, the water comes down, the pump's on the floor, which means it's already got the pressure being pushed to it. And if we start going up and across and back down again, then the water's got to travel. So I do understand the frustration with that, but there's got to be a way of moving it. I'd much rather have it moved rather than having it sat underneath where potentially someone could be sleeping. So I'll show you that in a minute. So it's the window frames over the road, getting those finished off. It's replacing the floor. It's sweeping out the water storage area. It's emptying the swimming pool, which I've already done this morning. And it's also starting to get prepared for what we are being told is going to be another rain amount coming on Wednesday, quite a heavy amount as well. So I want to make sure that all the land and all the soil is where it needs to be, so when it rains it makes no difference. Other than that, as I always say, it's nipping out today to try and get some bits and parts. I need some fixer-foam for the door and some silicone, and I've got a little small list of things I need to buy and bring back. So I'll update you a bit later on whilst I'm on. Obviously your comments. I only got one comment last night. Come on guys, what's going on? I like your comments and I enjoy replying to them, and I do enjoy obviously giving you guys feedback on stuff that you want to see. So if you guys want to see anything in particular, let me know in the comments below. And whilst you're at it, if you could do me a favour, give me a thumbs up and select the bell and all, and then that way you get notified as and when new content comes out. Other than that, I'll check in with you a bit later on. It's only 7:45, so I will see you a bit later on throughout the day. Okay, as I was saying, I'll give you a quick film once it's got the floor up from downstairs. There's the pump. As you can hear, not the quietest thing in the world. And we've designed it so that to a certain extent the bed, if there was going to be one, will be here. So straight underneath a wooden floor at the moment with no insulation. So we'll have to insulate it anyway. But as you can see, we've had 8x3s put right through. All of them have been bolted into the walls here, as you can see. They've all been bolted in, and we've also kept these in as well. We've got these 4x4 uprights just to make sure that we keep the actual sides in place. The gutter here still has to be sorted out. As you see, this is the guttering that feeds the irrigation tanks from the roof upstairs. As you can see, there's a sag in the middle, so we've got to jack that up. The downside is, again, the plumber hasn't actually put these straight. There's no run, they are dead straight. So if we take the sag out of it, we're just going to have a straight pipe. So we've got to try and take it up without taking the sag completely out, because we need the sag for the water to run, believe it or not. So yeah, yet another run of pipes which unfortunately is not set as it should be. The rest of the floor's got to come up, but we're still working on some of the windows upstairs, so we'll get the last ones out, and then we've got the new boards to go in. This is the two 450 tanks that we've actually got. At the moment they are solid and full. It just means that if we have any form of issues with weather, then these are what we rely on. So there's 900 gallons of water. Our water systems themselves are about 200 gallons. So we've got 200 gallons in there of hot water, and we've got 900 gallons of cold water, and the noisiest pump on the island. So we've got the filter system here and one over here. So that one filters water going into the tanks, and once they come out of the tanks, they come into this one here. Then they feed along here, through the patio, all the way into the house, and that's where the water's fed. The issue with the pump, apparently, is that obviously at the moment the tanks are here pushing down pressure into the pump. If we now take that pump and put it into the basement of the house, then what they're saying is the water's got to go back up the wall, along the patio, back down to the pump, and that isn't good for the pump apparently. But it can't stay here. Certainly not in the skies it's got at the moment, so I've got to move, it's got to be covered, it's got to be insulated. Something's got to happen. We can't have it sat there like that because it's just too noisy. Directly above is the bed. So anyway, that's one thing that's got to get done. Obviously we've got to raise this. That's something we've got to do straight away. We've got to get everything out of here, get it all de-dusted. There's loads of like crap and everything in the corner here where mortar's been falling down. It's all along here. We've got to get it all out, get it all dusted off. As you can see, this is after we've swept it all out, and then they've just taken the floor and that's what's fallen. So we've got to get this completely out, and then that way we can actually get this bracket drilled in, get the new floor down, and then we can get in here completely painted out, mopped out. And we can also start storing some stuff in here. So with our garden furniture, when it's not being used, we can put that away. There's plenty of things we can do. And here is the marine ply. It doesn't normally you have to have these eyes that they cut in. Obviously they cut the knots out, so I understand why they do it, but you're spending 400 a sheet and you've still got markings like that in it. So the aim is to get that put down temporarily for now, get the skirting boards put all the way around, and then probably in about 2 or 3 months' time I'll take it up, get it glued and get it fixed properly, as long as we can get it out from underneath the actual the skirting itself, and this will be the issue. So we'll be able to push these middle two here up and pull them out, these two up and out, then we should be able to pull these out, etc. So it's a ball ache, but I'd much rather get the floor done properly later. And we've still got to do, we want to put a loft hatch door here, a concealed door with a ring pull that enables us to obviously utilise down there as storage, because as you can see, I don't know how big it is. I mean, I'll probably say there's about sort of 350, 400 square foot of space down there, so we may as well try and utilise it if we can. Not too sure what that bit of wood is there. It's probably just leant up against it and needs to come out as well. Anyway, so that's where we are so far. Obviously the electric board has been boarded in. I did do it smaller, just to cover this hole here, but the downside is, as you can see, it's just the fuses, which is great, but if you want to put anything in, the whole thing's got to come out, so I've had to now cut the hole bigger so that we can actually access the 4 screws and get this whole thing off if we ever didn't want to do any work on it. So that was not the intention, but that's had to happen. Sherwin's obviously painted the top here and brought that down, which is 10 times better, and he's done the same over here as well. So we now have the top piece here, which is drying. So it's just trying to bring that lip down for that massive great chunk that they cut out that was just not necessary. It was necessary here, and it was necessary here, but for some unknown reason we didn't need to cut so much out of this one and this one. So they should have obviously just used the frame and measured before they did the cut, but we are where we are. Other than that, I keep saying, we do have the landscapers here. We're finishing off Orin's in the building, finishing off the architrave around the bedroom door. And the landscapers are here, I think fitting, I assume, something to do with the sprinklers. But again, I'm not going to be doing anything on the back of here for the next sort of 4 to 8 weeks. Apparently we have a storm coming in. 50% chance it can hit here on Wednesday with a lot of rain. So that's going to be interesting. But anyway, at least that will help that sink down and bed in and get to the level that it should be at. So fingers crossed we can get that done. So in the meantime, obviously hit me with a thumbs up. And